Welcome back, Coach Darrell from castironworkouts.com. I got Mikey with me. Oh, see, look, so unprofessional. Oh, you didn't look at it.
Almost.
Oh. Restart this, Jesus.
Almost.
And this is the first time I haven't asked you. Yeah. This is honestly the very first time since the last time that I haven't asked you. Did you plug the audio in, Mike? Tell me when. You recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
All right, guys. Coach Darrell from castironworkouts.com. We are back today. We got Mikey with us. Say hi, Michael.
Hi.
And then we got this dude. I got AJ with me today. AJ, introduce yourself.
Hi, AJ. Solid, right?
Yeah, no, this guy's an idiot. I'm just going to start the episode by saying that. I apologize for anything that comes out of his mouth.
I was tested, and yeah, it's slow.
AJ, who are you? What do you do?
So I'm AJ. I used to work for Darrell for 4.5 years, 5 years.
Yeah, at least, right? Hold on, let me think. Dalton. I base everything off of Dalton's age now.
Good measuring stick.
Yeah, probably 5 years.
Yeah,
probably 5 years.
Trained,
AJ coached for me. Yeah,
with you for about 3 years before that, maybe.
Yeah,
somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, last couple years of high school? Was it your junior and senior year of high school?
My junior, senior year. Had a brief cup of coffee at the University of Arizona.
Real brief.
And yeah, came back. Honestly, I came back skinnier, but that's only because I had mono for about 4 months. But anyways, so yeah, I used to work for Darrell, and then I moved. Well, I started working back in Fremont at my own gym. I had my CrossFit affiliate in Fremont, kind of close to Tesla down there, 680, 880, that area, and was doing that for 4 years now. And then we recently closed, and now I'm just trying to hop on podcasts.
What? Okay, so. Let's get into that a little bit, man. I know you had your affiliate for, 4 years, something like that.
2016.
Yeah, so you guys are up, running. COVID hits, right? Like it's kind of smacked us all, and it's hit us all in different ways and different regulations, different areas, different cities, different counties, whatever. How did that affect you? What has that done? Like you said, your gym's closed now. What was the progress like there? What are you doing now? Are you still in the fitness world? Are you still coaching? Give us an idea of what's up.
So still doing for some clients, like online at least. So doing online programming. I do a Zoom class for some of my members.
Like
Monday.
Zumba or like Zoom?
That's the secondary class.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to pay extra for that one though.
Okay.
So 6:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. But I give 6 days of programming, so Saturday too. But usually Saturdays are kind of, just go out and go run and stuff like that. Like, rounds for time with running and stuff like, just ideally if the weather's good, go out.
Simple home stuff you can do on your own.
Yeah, just because, especially on the Zoom, it's not like, unless you want to sit there and watch me, just stare at the screen while they go run for 5 minutes.
I was gonna say, that's all I'd pay for. I wouldn't do anything. I'd just pay you just to stare. And just like, oh, look at AJ. And then I just judge you the whole time.
Well, I know there's a market for that because, I have other ventures, but so we do that still. I'm not looking to get out of the fitness industry anytime soon. It was just kind of a lot of things happened as far as with COVID. We luckily ended. I mean, we weren't struggling. We didn't close because we were losing money or anything like that. Which is a blessing. I know a lot of affiliate owners and just small gyms in general, like a lot of them can't say that at the moment, and they're still fighting pretty hard to try to make a living and stuff like that. So, so March hits, and it was kind of weird because it was like, I think San Francisco had closed first and stuff like that, and you just kind of figured it was going to trickle down. So like the last week before the actual lockdown or closure was just like, was kind of this limbo. It was like not a lot of people were in the gym. It was kind of like
nobody knew what to do, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
just kinda
We
like-
went through the same thing. Like people were showing up, like, should I be here? Should I not
like
be
what
here?
effort level should I put into this?
Right.
Yeah. So it was kind of, it was just weird. And then I think it came down like in the middle of the day. I think I canceled our Friday afternoon classes. Like I think it was one of those deals. Like we'd done the morning. It was like noon. It came out. It was like we're shutting it down. It was just kind of like I don't know. I mean, and more so than anything, I kind of just watched other gyms around us, like just to see what they were doing.
Yeah.
So it hits 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah, I fully didn't expect it to be 2 weeks. Like they said 2 weeks, I'm like a month. So let's see what happens. The month came and went. Our lease was actually up in May.
Okay.
So I kind of had to deal with that, right? So
Right.
our lease was up. Our affiliate fee was coming up in June. So
Makes it tough to re-sign a lease and re-up an affiliate
yeah,
if you don't
exactly.
know if you have a business, right?
Exactly. So it was one of those things where, so I asked the landlord, I'm like, hey, look, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, nobody knows. So I basically asked him, like, can we do month to month? Can we do something,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you got to talk to the property management company. I was like, okay, whatever. So I talked to them and they weren't willing to like do it. They're like, we can give you 1 month was the option. We can give you a full year at $1,000 more than you currently pay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, sign me up. Or the
Even though you're not sure you can run your business or bring money in,
Right,
but
wait a
just go
minute.
ahead and pay us a little bit more for a year.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
or they counter with like kind of like later on in the email like, yeah, the landlord also like said that you can do it another year, but like for just $100 more. I'm like,
Right.
I mean,
thank you.
yeah. So I'm like, no. So can I have 6 months? And they were like, we'll give you 3. And I was like,
Wow.
all right, great. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, 3 months. That'll put us in. We got to be out by August or whatever. So basically, I kind of gave myself a date of like in my head, kind of talked over with my fiance, and it was just like June 1st is kind of like we'll know what's going on. Like personally,
You're going to know whether you need to shit or get off the,
The trend,
pot.
yeah. Where it's headed.
yeah, basically. So it was kind of like, all right, we'll see what happens June 1st, because then I'll tell CrossFit I'm not paying them $3,000.
Right.
I'll tell tell the landlord we're moving out in July or whatever, and kind of.
So that's where it went.
Yeah,
That's where it went.
That's
okay.
where it went. And,
Okay.
it was hard. I mean, it's, you build this community and you build this gym, right? And then
Yeah.
you got all these people. And that was the biggest thing, was just like, man, I felt like I was going to disappoint tons of people. And, but at the end of the day, it was the right move for us. I mean,
Right.
'cause we
And
still-
that's a tough decision, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough decision because you get so attached, like as a gym owner, a coach, a trainer, to the people that you train, whether they realize it or not. Like you have so much invested in them and so much time invested in them. And like as a coach, like you don't want to let those people down, no matter what it is, helping them hit goals or just having them at your gym every day to just make their lives a little bit better. Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, like, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So, I mean, during the whole thing, too, is like, I don't know. I'm not like, it almost felt like stealing almost, like, because I was like, hey, like, I'm going to keep the memberships going because we were hoping to come back. And then it got to maybe like April. And like, if anybody asked me like, hey, I just can't do it right now, or no problem. Like, don't worry about it. Like,
Right.
So it kind of got to the point where I'm like, okay, getting what I can at least, and people were still paying, which was great. And especially too, that was another decision closing. And it's just like, I don't want to keep charging these people for just to basically cover my rent too. It's not even like it's putting a lot of money in my pocket. It's just,
Right, and that's a tough thing. We're in a similar spot, and I was like, for us, dude, we here at Wit Fitness, I almost every weight that I have in this gym went to a member somewhere. A barbell, a kettlebell, some plates, just so everybody had something. Continuing to program online for people, and it was rough, bro.
Yeah.
It was rough. And it was the same thing. It was like, trying to keep money coming in, and the people who, I knew we'd have people that couldn't keep coming or couldn't keep paying and, pay for the online and me bringing them weights and whatever. But it was, it was like, holy crap, dude, I've been in this for 17 years. Am I going to make it out?
Yeah.
And it still scares the shit out of me every day.
Yeah.
Right. Thankfully I'm able to do outdoor classes, even still with the new the 19th set of new regulations that we have.
Yeah, I mean, that was the other thing for me too. Is just like, and it was kind of just this, again, watching other gyms, seeing what's happening, because nobody knows. I mean, they're telling you stuff, but you don't know, and then it's just like, well, we're going back outside, and then I was like, okay, that's great. And again, like, okay, my lease is up or whatever, or I got to sign the new renewal in August or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, what happens when we get into actual flu season, like actual November, like this time of year? And then I was like, luckily we're in California, so it's like the weather's fine for a long time.
For most of the year,
most of the year, yeah. I mean, even now, like I posted a story the other day. I was doing pull-ups outside, and it was like 69 degrees on Friday. I was like, okay, which honestly felt like I thought it was like 55, but
poor AJ.
I do not like the cold, but
dude, no, I feel you though. Like, and that's something like that I've had to deal with here. Right, is I'm paying rent every single month for a gym I'm not using. I mean, you look over here, and I'm looking to my right, and you can't see it. Yeah, it's a storage space. I'm using maybe 10%, maybe 20%. Of the gym that I have just to store my shit and roll it out, pull it out, lift stuff, bring things out every day. And that's it, right? It's like, it's a tough one to swallow every day. It's like, I'm paying rent on a 2,000 square foot facility to use 10% of it to pull my shit outside.
Yeah.
With less members than what I had before. I mean, dude, it's hard, right?
Yeah.
These are tough times and tough decisions to make. Like, that most people don't realize, you know. Anyways, go ahead. You were saying doing pull-ups outside, thinking it's 55 degrees.
Yeah. Well, so luckily I had all the equipment.
It wasn't. By the way, it wasn't 55 degrees.
It was a California 55.
Just checking the facts here.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey. This is why we have Mike. This is why we have Mike. Good. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, so who's Mike, by the way? I think it's Marlene. You know Marlene.
Yeah.
Marlene goes, so who's Mike? And I was like, oh, he produces a show. He's a bag of shit.
She's like, does he really need to be there? Like,
yes and yes.
The only reason, you could probably replace Mike with a mirror just because you need to see if the camera is off. I think a mirror.
Hey, did anybody plug in that audio cable today?
Yes,
just wondering.
I did.
Yeah, just wondering.
After I realized, were talking for like 5 minutes.
You guys were warming up. It was the green room still.
You wanted to make sure you were ready for your first show, bud.
You know what? I kind of had a feeling something like that was going to happen. I'm like, Mike's going to mess up something. We're going to have to reshoot.
I think we said that about each other.
Oh, yeah.
Between the three of us, we were all thinking.
I was leaving the house, and Antonia, my fiance, she was just like, how long are you going to be? And I'm like,
no clue.
No idea. With Darrell, it's like, it could be like, oh, yeah, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Or it could be like, yeah, I was there all day.
Yeah. This is going to be a 9-part episode. It's a mini series.
Keep going, marathon, phone-a-thon. Call in right now, everybody.
You should just pick a 20-minute segment. And just drop it every I don't know, third week of the month. Just drop this.
A little AJ.
Yeah,
we should have did this live. We should have put this on.
No, because I don't want comments coming in.
Yeah, I don't want to watch subscribers like.
I'm not going to tell you guys what they're saying.
Slowly dwindle down because our subscriber list would just start dropping and dropping and dropping.
Right,
anyways, back to you. Yeah. Back to you here and your gym adventures, sir.
Yeah. So knew we were closing. I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do with all this equipment? Luckily, I have a good amount of space at home where I can store most of it. I wanted to use a bunch of it too, obviously, because we work out at home. I have one of my friends who was a member of the gym. He comes over every day. We work out. So like 3 of us, right? Me, Antonia, and him. And it was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to use all this stuff. Actually, the plates that we had, the bumper plates, I actually wanted to replace them anyways. Because they were getting a little bit older, but they're still fine. But I wanted to replace them with the high temps, just because they're way more versatile. They can go outside, especially we had a decent-sized parking lot, and we would usually throw people out there and stuff. So I just didn't want them to get banged up, and they're way more durable. So I was kind of thinking to sell them off anyway. So I sold a bunch of stuff. I kind of wrote a list of what I wanted to keep for myself, what I wanted to keep just in case, we could a new spot comes open, or whatever it may be. So
enough to get by.
Yeah. So I sold a bunch of stuff to the members, discounted price and stuff like that, obviously. But I don't really
Triple
Yeah.
triple the price, charging them COVID prices.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
all the prices that people are selling shit for?
Well, no, that was the thing. So I pretty much sold everything. Like I looked up what it was if you were to buy it new.
Uh-huh.
And then obviously that doesn't include the shipping, which is the real backbreaker. So I
Right,
basically just
right.
said like, hey, like I'll just sell it to you at what it would be kind of normal or maybe $10
Cost.
off. And
Yeah.
then just like, you're not paying for shipping.
Right.
They're like, all right, cool. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and that's part of like even still, it's still hard to get new equipment right now,
Yeah.
right? Like everything's on back order, like 4 to 12 weeks to get dumbbells. I'm like,
I know.
3 months? I gotta wait 3 months to get dumbbells.
Yeah.
And that's where like Mikey's taking classes, right? And Mikey's here, he's doing workouts outside, and I mean he hears me every day. I'm like, please be careful with the weights, right? Like just treat these. Please don't throw stuff around the parking lot. You know, like it's dude, and like I'm like constantly walking around tents. I'm like, oh my god, don't drop
Well,
that.
you get the head of a 35 come flying off, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
I'm not using that for 2 months.
Yeah, man. It's but yeah, like the prices are insane. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like people that are selling stuff, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I've got some used bumper plates, and they're like $7 a pound. You're like, these are usually $1 brand new.
Yeah,
like,
Right, it's like usually a 1-to-1 ratio.
yeah, it's usually, you know,
Around, roughly.
most stuff
Yeah.
like bumper plates are usually about $1.15 a pound. Like, you know, for decent ones that aren't gonna fall apart on you, you know, rogues are usually about $1.25, $1.35. But yeah, so that's kind of where you're sitting. Like for bumper plates, let's say people are literally charging $3 to $4 a pound for bumper plates during this.
100%.
It's like, yeah, oh yeah, you know, I can gouge you right now. So even some of the companies, I looked at, you know, I'm not going to call out a bunch of the companies because I think it'd be kind of messed up because I use some of their stuff. But I watched a lot of these companies increase their prices too.
Yeah.
People that were charging $200 to $250 for a barbell before, all of a sudden their barbells are $350, $400.
Yeah. I mean, I had a bunch of members like ask me like, especially during the first part of lockdown,
Where can I get stuff?
where can I get stuff? And I was just kind of like, well, you kind of can't. Or, you know, hey, let me check out whatever, like a barbell on whatever website. And then I go to it and be like, yeah, it used to be like, you know, almost $200 or whatever. And then you're like, why is it like, oh my God, it's $375.
Yeah. Yeah, a ton
And
of
this
that,
is like
right?
the bottom of the line barbell. This is just like your standard. This isn't the, you know, the
No,
Klokov.
Yeah, you're not talking about the high rotation Olympic training bar. Like, no.
Yeah.
You're talking just basic barbells.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, man. It kind of got out of control. How we doing on time, Mike?
Oh, we're fine. Plenty of time.
Okay. So, all right. So you kind of transitioned. You sold off some stuff, training at home. You're still doing Zumba workouts Monday through Friday.
Those are for fun.
That's cool. What else, man? You mentioned earlier that you were supposed to get married this year, right? Or that you have a fiance. The wedding was supposed to happen this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
July. I don't know, whatever the old save the date was I gave you over there.
Yes.
We have so much stuff. Dude, we had invitations and stuff printed up. We're using the scratch paper right now.
That's cool.
We're
I
literally
mean,
making
at least they're
grocery
getting
lists on
used,
them.
right?
No, yeah, damn right. That's expensive paper, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thick. It's very sturdy. So
That's cool. You could print like a Christmas card on the back and just use it for a Christmas card too. I mean, repurpose, reuse, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, we're green. We're very green.
So you guys were supposed to get married in July. And it's kind of that was your COVID blessing from what you were telling us story-wise, because what happened, you were saying, like, there was two things that happened that you told me, right?
Yeah.
First was what? What happened to the church you guys were supposed to get married in?
So we were supposed to get married in Zagreb in Croatia, back home. And
you want to say that again?
what?
Zuhu?
Zagreb.
Yeah, that sounded nice. Say it again. I want to hear it again.
Zagreb. Zagreb is the tourist.
Zagreb?
Zagreb.
Okay.
Zagreb.
Okay.
So it's the capital.
Croatia.
It's the capital of Croatia.
Okay.
Had everything set for the most part. Venue, church. Yeah, everything was set. So lockdown happens, and I mean we're months out, so it's fine. Like we're like it's okay. Well, we thought it's okay. So like I don't know, maybe first week of April or whatever. I wake up one morning. Well, I was woken up. I didn't wake up. I was woken up by a screen put into my face, and Antonia puts the screen in my face, and she's like, "The roof of our church collapsed." And I was like, "What?" So they had an earthquake. They had an earthquake, and again, for California, everything would have been fine, but it was like a 4 over there, which is like
Devastating in Croatia.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this video, and like you see, it's like a freaking security cam or whatever, and it's just like building shakes. You see some like a little bit of rubble, and then it's just like,
Ooh.
and you're like, damn. Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, it was okay. Like, there's hundreds of churches, so we moved the church, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so that's event 1. Tell us about event number 2.
Well, so we realized we weren't going to be able to go. Obviously, we were going to push things back, as it got deeper into the year, May, June. And then July, the day before our wedding, so the 24th, the city flooded. Zagreb flooded. It was like 3 feet wide. Like, people were wading through it, and you're just, like, seeing it. And that was supposed to be the night before the wedding, right? So, thankfully, I'm like, oh, man, that would have been terrible to deal with. Someone had been knocking on my door at 2 a.m, basically like, "Yeah, your bride's crying your eyes out because the city's just submerged." I was like, "Oh, dodged a bullet on that one." So yeah, we decided that one more act with the Lord, and we're gonna be friends. We're gonna
Shake hands and part ways.
Yeah, shake hands and just good luck, best of luck to you. Send you a Christmas card and go on our way. But yeah, so it's just literally a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, I know that's crazy with the events that happened, but I know a few different people that were supposed to get married this year, and it was like got postponed or pushed back. I know a few people did, small things, whatever, but yeah, it's changed a lot.
So for us too, at least, like, there was supposed to be I think a couple more weddings, like, of people we knew, like that same kind of time frame. And then we knew a few couples that were going to get married this upcoming year, like, in 2021, because they knew, like, my wedding, so-and-so's wedding. So they're like, yeah, we'll just push it. We'll get 2021.
All right, everyone's trying to arrange
everyone's
around
pushing back.
each other.
So
Yeah.
now it's like literally the whole month of July and into August, like in Croatia.
So
Like,
you got a wedding every weekend?
yeah, it's literally
That's
like
cool.
boom, boom, boom. Like,
Can I get invites to all of them, or
I mean, you just show up. I know where
Okay,
they
cool.
are. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Mikey?
Wedding crashes.
Mikey, we're
Let's do
going.
it.
there's going to be so many
We're
people
going.
at some of these weddings, they wouldn't know. You just be, wedding. I watched that movie on the plane on the way back home, by the way, because we did end up going this summer, and just it's still it's funny.
Yeah, that's a great
I
movie,
forgot.
dude. That is a great movie.
I forgot how funny that movie is.
You know what makes me laugh every time, because I'm sitting here thinking about it, is Vince Vaughn, like
Yeah.
with the weddings, right? And they're crashing weddings,
Yeah.
whatever. Him just hammering cake everywhere they go.
He's just like,
When he takes the painting,
This is a gift.
no, Jeremy, I'm taking it. I'm taking the painting. It was a gift.
And here we are again. All right, so yeah, you were.
Well, on the Vince Vaughn note, I was dubbed by you
Yes.
as Vince. Well, no, I was Will Ferrell. Nick was Vince Vaughn.
This is true.
He called us Vince Vaughn and Will Ferrell because we were skinny fat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. For
we look okay, but like really, it's like there's nothing there.
like underneath,
It's-
you don't want to
yeah.
see what's underneath the shirt.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, throw a T-shirt on, you're like, no, you guys in shape.
all mufflers.
Yeah.
all mufflers. don't open the hood.
Exactly. Yeah. Nick. Oh, good
So-
old Nick. We need to have Nick on the podcast one
He
day.
lives out here now.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
we should have like both of you on the podcast one
Oh.
day. That would be fun. That'd be fun. Anyways,
So July is stacked with.
Yeah.
so now
Weddings
you're
all
gonna go
over the
about
place.
6 to 8 weeks, of weddings, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
You got yours to worry about, right? That's it.
Well, we have to go back.
You're gonna
and-
be out of the country though,
We
right?
have
You're
to
getting
go-
married in Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
correct.
So
we have to go. I mean, she's in a wedding in October, like first week of October, anyways. So we're not going to stay the whole time. We've already decided on that.
it's
even
like,
though-
bro, that's like 3 months.
even though she's lobbying for it, she's like, we could just stay like the whole. I'm like, we're not going to stay the whole month, like for the whole half a year. Anyways, so yeah, so we have to go back in October or whatever. But so I don't know when we're going to come home. We haven't worked the details out of that, but
okay.
soon, I hope.
Okay. And are you still gonna teach Zumba as you're in Croatia?
I did that this year while I was there, which was nice because it was like 4 PM there, 4:30, and I was like, oh, sweet. And everybody's just waking up, and they come on the Zoom like all sleepy-eyed, and I'm like, what's going on, guys?
I've been drinking on the beach all day.
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, well, can we wrap this up? Because like, the water's pretty nice, like. So yeah, they were just like, yeah, okay. And I didn't tell anybody either. It was the best part. Like, I didn't really tell anyone.
Everybody's like, why are you on a beach? It's weird.
Well, I didn't tell anyone, and then like I showed up, and like I did the whole Zoom. Nobody even asked me for anything the first day we were there, and they're like, so what's I'm like, so maybe you notice my background's a little bit different. Yeah, I am abroad, and everybody's like, what? And I was like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
So, you have dual citizenship?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
We decided not to do that because we were going to put our paperwork through, and she was just like, well, if I'm going to have to change my name, like, why do it now? Like, basically go through it twice. But Croatia at the time had a thing they were letting in like descendants, like lineage. Basically, if you could establish lineage, both my grandparents are citizens of Croatia, they would let you in.
And okay, so everybody watching doesn't know the AJ family history here. I know all of it. Like AJ's grandparents Croatian, came from Croatia,
Yugoslavia at the time, yeah.
And your fiance, Croatian also.
Correct.
Same area, Croatia, right?
Yeah, her mom's side.
I mean, roughly.
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah. I mean, it's all size of West Virginia, so I mean,
right, not real big. So you guys are cousins.
West Virginia. You say that?
We don't like to talk about that.
Mikey like the West Virginia. He's dying back here right now.
Nobody in her family at least has my last name, so that's
Yeah.
so that's good.
Oh man. Okay. Cool. So now you guys getting married next year. What's Antonia doing?
Oof, I wish I could answer that. No, she graduated from East Bay 2019 then? I mean, not last year, the year before. And it was kind of one of those things where she was just like, she was working for kind of like an assistant at least to some lady in Los Altos, basically like a glorified nanny. Like, she doesn't like when I say that, but kind of. But she'll tell you. But she's driving kids around, and they have a little bit of farmland, so she's feeding alpacas and stuff like that. Like, pretty cool to be honest. Like, it's pretty.
Yeah, as I said, that sounds.
So they were
cool.
paying her, and she was just like, well, I can do this still, make a good amount of money, and then plan the whole wedding and this and that. And then her plan is basically to go in, and she just started doing it now, but taking over for some of the family construction. Their family does construction, so she's doing a lot more there. Like, she just revamped their whole website. She printed business cards up with her information on it, her brother's information on it. Has a QR code. It's very, very up to date. So she's doing a lot of that stuff. So just finally starting to put that degree to use.
Okay. Okay. Cool. What's up with your family, man? How's your dad?
He's all right. I mean, he's still working on cars. And boozing.
Yeah.
Boozing.
AJ's dad's pretty cool, man. He's actually, your dad's only what, 3 years older than I am?
Yeah, I think so.
3, maybe 4, maybe 4 years older. Cool dude though. Real cool dude. He used to come in. He always used to like come in, watch AJ get tortured when he was working out with me.
He wouldn't even come up concerned or anything. He'd just be like,
no, he'd walk up.
Did you drive him into the ground today?
Yeah, no, and it was always at the end of the workout where he knew AJ was gonna be tired, and I'd probably be putting AJ through some sort of like a little bit of conditioning. Yeah. Like AJ died with conditioning back in the day too. Like before he was fit working out, AJ used to him and his boy Jerome used to come in like after like Burger King was like maybe a quarter mile from the gym. Not even that.
No, not even that.
Maybe a tenth of a mile, like from the gym, like within the same huge shopping center.
Okay, so we did that like once.
Shut
we
up.
went to Burger King specifically. We went
specifically Burger King.
Specifically Burger King.
I just remember that one because you guys were like green in the face. I'm like, what'd you do? I had like 4 Whoppers.
I think we both threw up. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah. It was not the smartest decision.
Yeah, but AJ's dad would come up at the end of the workout and just be like, you better be whooping his ass. That's what I'm paying you for. Like, I want to see him puke. Like, just hammering on him. But yeah, he's
full green light to be beaten.
Yeah.
Full green light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like your dad would walk up and be like, "Hit him if you need to. Hit him if you need to."
Yeah. Yeah. Not even like you're like, "Hey, maybe I need to be a little harder on him." He's just like, "No, just strike him."
Just whoop his ass.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Talking with AJ today. We are going to talk a little bit now about AJ and what he does. So AJ, for a long time, like he trained with me as an athlete, as a baseball player. When AJ first came to me, he was, he's a kid, right? And he trained with my buddy Jared, who used to work with me. You guys have probably seen the episode, Jared, that works for the San Francisco 49ers now. He started training with Jared, did some really basic strength training, started learning a little bit of technique and form. And then we got into a little bit more in-depth strength program when AJ trained with me for baseball to get him stronger. Did did a little bit of conditioning, not a ton. You know, as he got older, you know, like he said, he went away to Arizona for a little bit, came back, and you know, not to put AJ on blast, but that was like when you were in the worst shape, right? Like, I mean, like you said, you were a little heavier before you got sick, but you hadn't been working out.
Oh no.
You were 260 pounds, 50 pounds, like
50, yeah.
probably 250 when I got a hold of you again. And just, it just wasn't healthy, right? Just wasn't eating well, wasn't working out. And he knew it and didn't feel good.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, no, we were boozing and all this stuff.
Yeah, so the switch there kind of came, and we got AJ kind of moving more, doing, you know, more conditioning within his workouts, still lifting, but more conditioning within his workouts, CrossFit style workouts. Did that for a while. You know, that's when, you know, he was doing like the group fitness style classes that I coach at the gym. And then from there, we kind of started to implement more strength training on top of that, you know, just for AJ personally. You know, and then from there, you know, we got you into some Olympic stuff, you know, put you and Rachel through that Olympic cycle that almost killed you guys. You guys got strong as shit during that now.
That first open that we did, like, I remember there was a point where, like, we both finished one of the workouts. Sorry, Mike.
You're good. Keep talking.
We both finished one of the workouts, and we were just gassed. But both of us like talked it over, and we're like, that weight was light as shit. But we just couldn't. There was no other gear.
Yeah.
Because we'd been just straight lifting. So like all of a sudden it's like, here's the 16-minute AMRAP, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
Can it be 4?
Yeah.
And it was rough.
But I remember that, like, starting you guys on through that Olympic cycle, and then from there, you know, you and I trained together for quite a long time. You know, probably a year or two, right? You know, you and I and Rachel, you know, we'd do different workouts together almost every day.
Yeah.
And you know, I know it kind of, you know, progressed. You were doing some strength work, you know, a lot of metcons, and so that's like where I kind of know where you went, like when you were training with me. Since then, you know, what are your workouts like now? What are you doing these days? Is it still CrossFit based workouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was kind of, doing the programming mainly for our gym. I was doing it myself. So following a lot of those workouts and stuff like that. I had previously done, which we started doing back again at the beginning, kind of maybe April. I had bought programming from Con Porter. He's Australian. He does a lot more like longer sweat EMOMs, like just 30 minutes, bunch of stuff, you know, and it's just like insane. But I did his competitor programming in like 2017 and just got ridiculously like fit, like super fit. Like, you know, I could string together tons of pull-ups, tons of handstand push-ups, like a bunch of that stuff. I wanted to cry while I was doing most of it. But it made me fit. But at a certain point, like I had just come on South Fremont, and I wasn't really, I was an owner, but I really wasn't, I didn't have a ton of responsibility at that point. So it kind of flipped when I did take on more responsibility, and all of a sudden it's like, you can't really train for 3 hours a day anymore.
Yeah, you don't have that time.
No. Right? So, you know, it just kind of became, I don't want to say maintenance stuff, but like the competitive side kind of fell off. I wasn't really that interested in competitions at that point, just because I was just like, I got my business to focus on and stuff like that. So I know like anybody who does like, who goes to the games and they like own an affiliate or whatever, like that is so impressive. Like to be able to balance all that, like it's impressive.
Well, and a lot of those guys too, though, you know, the ones that are going to the games and that do own affiliates probably aren't have to put as much focus and time in it on the coaching side of things as you are. Because, you know, the type of gym that you own, right? It's smaller scale. You're not talking about a 200 member affiliate, 300 member affiliate where you've got a ton of people and you've got 20 coaches or you know, even 10 coaches.
Or even 5.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, so you're the nuts and bolts, right? You're coaching a majority of those classes. You're the janitor on top of that. Oh yeah. You know, you're the counselor to people on top of that. You're this, you're that. You have a bunch of different hats to wear. So your time through the day starts to drop down and down and down and down.
Even like there'd be some times where maybe I'd come in the afternoon just because, and like, I'm not coaching, but like, I want to jump into a class. I want to do this and that. Maybe I'm not coaching, but I have a personal training I have to do at 6:30, which I would do sometimes. So I just, come in early, whatever. And like at a certain point, like when you're the dude, like they're not asking someone else for questions. They're asking
They ask you.
Even
Right.
if it's
You
mid-workout.
okay, yeah. You think about that too, though, AJ. Like, okay, when you coached for me for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
At first, you were the young guy. You're the young kid. You come in. So people are always, if I'm within the gym, they're not going to ask you anything, right?
Of course not.
But even still, after you had been coaching for a while, you'd watch me do it. I'm going to go, hey, man, I'm going to come in this afternoon. I know you're coaching from, the first 2 classes or whatever it is in the afternoon. I'm going to come in and I'm going to get I'm going to get a little cardio in. I'm going to do an EMOM. I got to lift or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd walk in the gym and it was like, shoo, people are on you.
Yeah.
Or I would be in the middle of a lifting session and somebody would want to come start talking macros with me or whatever. And it's like, all right, I mean, I'm here. This is, it's hard to separate and to get, like from a,
Well, they see you so often that they just assume you're at the gym, you're working, and you're good to go. Like, let's ask Darrell about whatever, why my 1 rep deadlift isn't higher. What's going on there?
Right. And it's I mean, Mike sees it from, the member side now where he'll come in the mornings and he'll see me, like I get here at 4:45 to get a run in. Right? Train a class. As soon as they're gone, then I'm like rushing to get my lifting done. And then, a class leaves and it's like, and then if I have any other stuff that I need to clean up, like within my own programming, I got to do that after the fact or, figuring out times where it's like, I can't do it when people are around.
Yeah.
Even still with people being outside here, it's tough, dude. So your training volume probably decreased a little bit.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, at that point, I kind of came off of the competitive side. It's nice to see another program too, because then you can get ideas and stuff like that, just how differently people do things, which is great. It's kind of refreshing at a certain point too.
It's always good because it takes you out of your norm.
Yeah. So one of the big things I actually did, like when I was doing that competitive stuff too, like I had a couple friends. One of the girls, she worked for me, but their main affiliate was San Leandro. So she's like, hey, on Saturdays, like, we throw down like, 11:30 to whenever, and it's like, okay, cool, I'll come by. And that'd be one of the things I would do. I'd go to another affiliate. Like if I wanted to just kind of disconnect from myself from my gym and go to a place where no one's going to ask me anything.
Yeah.
Where it's like, some of those places, like, especially in Hayward, this one place I went to, I would jump in, like, cause I knew the owner, like I would help him out here and there if I needed to, or if someone's whatever. But it was just great. Like, go ahead. No one's going to ask you anything. You can just work out and it's good. It's just like refreshing mentally.
Dude, that's like with running for me. You've heard me say that before. That's where my mileage went up because it's like, oh, I'm out here on the street running or on a trail or wherever I picked to go that day. Yeah. Nobody's bugging me.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking me questions.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking me about it. I'm like, I can just do this.
Yeah.
I can just do it's like, this is, you have that time. Anyways, go ahead.
One of the nice things too is like, I guess on San Leandro it was Tuesdays, they would do an Oli class too. So they do Olympic lifting and stuff like that. So one of my friends was like, hey, come earlier. Cause I was like, I don't want to drive over there. You're not going to be there till 5. Like traffic's crazy. I'm not going to do that. And she's like, come earlier, do the Oli class and whatever. So I did the Olympic lifting class and, at this point, it's probably about 2.5 years where I haven't been here. So it's not like I haven't been training and had someone else's eyes on me too for a long time. So I just kind of fall into habits and stuff like that, which people do. And I remember I'm snatching and the owner, Ruth, she was like looking at me. She's like, what's going on there? I'm like, snatching. Like, what do you
what?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Darrell, translate that.
Yeah.
In Darrell.
AJ, you suck.
Yeah. No,
No, I mean, like, he wouldn't have said what's going on there. He would have.
Oh, yeah. No. We can't say that. I don't want to. This is a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
But go and shout out to CrossFit San Leandro real quick because that's, I know them. The reason why I don't go to San Leandro, it's too hometown for me. I had to get away from,
I get that.
like,
no, for sure.
the community.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ruth is awesome.
They're great. She's helped me out so much. Anytime I've emailed her about a question or something like that. That's actually where we could talk about my affiliate a little bit later, but like one of the big things I took, they did for the Open, they did the intramural. So basically they divide the gym up into teams and kind of have a point system, and it's themed, and it's a lot of fun. And we did it at my affiliate, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. So yeah, she's been really helpful. She was a great resource for a couple years for me, and it was awesome. But anyways, so she's like, "What are you doing with your snatch?" I'm like, "I don't know. You tell me. Like, like you're leading the class. Like,
again, you want me to translate?" She was saying, "AJ, why are you such a bag of shit?"
I understand.
There we go. That's what I want.
Well, I didn't want to get.
I thought it was going to be more than that too.
No, I speak Darrell. I understand.
Family friendly show. Okay, that was family friendly. You want the real So she's like, my mom's gonna watch this, Mike. You know that, right?
Yep.
So she's like, is that your normal grip for your snatch? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's a little wide. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
And she's like, how long have you been doing CrossFit now? I'm like, 4 or 5 years. She's like, are your shoulders any more mobile? And I was like, I mean, maybe. She's like, move your hands in, dummy.
Right.
Okay. Boom.
Right.
Locking out snatch. I'm like, oh.
Well, and that's a big thing, right? If you don't have other eyes on you, there's little things that will slowly slide away from you, right? That you won't pick up on, you won't notice, whatever. That's like, Rachel and I do that. And it's good that I train with Rachel. Like Rachel, it's funny. She doesn't try and coach me a lot.
Yeah.
But she'll drop little cues, like little hints or, like little things like, and, like your deadlift, your feet look wider, whatever it is, or, do you normally pull your feet that wide or, whatever, or, we're getting Olympic work and she's like, yeah, I don't know. It just looked a little fast or, tell me to slow down a little bit, same thing. If you don't have those eyes on you and you are training by yourself, that is one of the things, like you start to lose like touch with things over time.
Yeah.
So anyways, you brought your hands in, your snatch got better. That's
my God. It was like instantly, like I could I was hitting 185 like consistent, consistent. And I was like, dang, before it was like 1 out of 7 maybe I'd get or 6. And this one was like 4 out of 5 at this point, but it was great. And I love that too, dropping into other gyms. Like it's a big thing. I like to travel and taking that from her. I took that to other members across the years and basically same thing with other people. It's like, hey, and it got me thinking, I'm like, damn, like, yeah, maybe like I've been looking at so-and-so member since they started and like, why isn't their snatch got a little bit better? And it's like, hey, try this out. And then boom, like things that you wouldn't think about that, I remember like you said, you went to the L1 at first and like, they just give such simple cues that you like almost not overlook, but just don't think. You're like, wow. Like that's super
AJ mentioned the L1. He's talking level 1, the CrossFit certification. CrossFit for those that don't know it. And that was one thing like I did appreciate about CrossFit. Like I said, I'm not a CrossFit affiliate anymore. But that was one thing that I really did appreciate, like with their coaching, their training, that 2-day level 1 was I'm a simple coach in the means that I want to give you the simplest way to fix the problem. Right? Where a lot of coaches are wordy and they want to tell you a million different things about this and the biomechanics of your body and pop. For most people, you don't need to do that.
Most people don't understand.
You need to say, hey, dumb shit, push your knees out or, bring your hands in or whatever it is. These simple cues, right? And that's something that I really liked about CrossFit was they would take something where they would explain, the mechanics of the lift that were going on. They say, okay, as a coach, if this is what you see, instead of getting this wordy explanation, they're going to give you like a simple cue to fix it, right? And I appreciate that.
Did you take the L2?
I never did.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Great class. I'd highly recommend it.
Who taught your level 2?
I took it in Portland, actually. So I took it at CrossFit X Factor in Portland.
Does this have to do with the decriminalization of drugs?
This is prior to the decriminalization.
Sure. We don't believe you. Anyways, so you took it at CrossFit Portland.
CrossFit X Factor.
X Factor. In Portland.
In Portland, yeah.
Gotcha.
So my best friend lives in Portland, and like I was kind of looking for an excuse to go up there anyways. So it was either like take it in Portland or wait a month and take it in, I think at the ranch or something like that. I'm like, what's the difference? I'll go to Portland. Like, who cares? So we went to Portland and took it, and Chris, I don't remember his last name, but he's one of their great trainers, and it's his gym, it's his box. So it's him and this other guy who owns a gym in Seattle. And basically, they flop kind of.
Okay, kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, so they flop. And and it's a way smaller setting. The L1's like maybe what 60 people.
Yeah, they usually top them at 60.
This was like 15.
Okay.
So way smaller. Your breakout groups are, still about the same size. No, way smaller. They're like 5 to 6
instead of like 7 or 8.
Yeah. So it's small, But the L2 is it's so much more about how you communicate with people. Like even a lot of the studying material was member connection and how do you get these people to
how to deal with people.
Yeah,
right?
it was a lot more of that stuff, which was awesome. But just a lot of the cues, like they would a lot of the class that they focused on was just like, okay, they would tell you, all right, you're in a breakout group. Here's your movement. I want you to tell this person how to overhead squat. Don't use any words. Like watch their movement. You can only you can't give them verbal cues. You can give them tactile cues, or you can do something else, but you can't like verbally give it to them.
So does that mean like charades kind of thing? Like you're doing the movement or
almost just
drawing?
No,
or...
they're doing it.
No, I'm being honest.
They gave AJ a box of crayons.
Puppies.
Hey, that's how they entertained.
Like that?
That's how they entertained AJ for 2 days.
One word.
Everybody else was allowed to talk and do stuff. They gave AJ a box of crayons. They're like, here, go sit in the corner and draw some picture.
I got a juice box and some animal crackers, and it's pretty good.
Drink your milk.
Best $1,000 I've ever spent in my life.
No, but I mean, like you say, no verbal cues. So, like, and you're just going.
No. So like you would come
all
up,
grunts.
Yeah,
all grunts and points.
It would be like you would come up to them and like you'd watch them in their setup or something like that, and you just you would. When I say no verbal, like you could give them 3 words. They'd be like, give them 3 words, like push your knees out, something like that, and then you could like touch them and stuff like that. Well, touch them.
What kind of class
like
was
push their
this,
elbow
bud?
in, right? Like
yeah,
kind of thing,
your arms are bent. Like
elbows. That was
lock
it,
them out,
Mike.
like punch them up, like stuff like that. Like your front rack's a little bit low. You just come over and be like, bring me here, and you push them up and stuff like that. So it was a lot more on the, cue. And I think who actually not recommended, but Matt
Johnson.
Yeah, he came by the gym one day when Darrell was there, and basically. He was talking. He's like, "Have you taken your L2?" And I was like, "No, I'm really thinking about it." And he's like, "Do it." He's like, "It'll make you so much better of a coach."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." And I think that month or whatever, 2 weeks after that conversation, I went and signed up for it, and then next month took it, and it was, I'd highly recommend it. Because the L1's so broad, and it's a lot of people get it and they don't actually go into coaching too. Some of that time, it's just kind of like, what's the philosophy?
People just want to learn more about what they're doing, right?
Sure.
I know that's like a lot of people, because I mean, how many people have their level 1 in CrossFit?
Tons.
Or now I don't know if it's as many, but they're at the height of the CrossFit peak, right?
Yeah.
You go back about 4 or 5 years. I mean, you had thousands upon thousands of people that had a level 1, and it was because they loved CrossFit and loved what they were doing. They were just, they're eating it up. They're drinking that their CrossFit Kool-Aid, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it was, they just wanted to know more about what they were doing and become better as an athlete themselves by spending a weekend with Jason Khalipa and, like all these different guys who are teaching and girls who are teaching the CrossFit methodology and the movements and the...
And by no means do you have to be like fit to go into it. Like, I mean, at this point too, like, so they do breakout groups, right? And then like, basically like when you're doing whatever movement, they like pick like, all right, who has the most messed up overhead squat? Like let's pull them in the middle and like, we'll dissect them and this and that. 3 out of the 4 breakout groups, I got pulled in the middle.
I remember this. Yeah.
It was like the first time it was like, okay, whatever, someone's got to be it. And then the second time, it happens, everybody was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. The third time it was almost like pity. Everybody's like,
Oh, AJ's
back in the group. And I think Neil Maddox was the instructor for that group, and he was just like, everybody's like, oh, and he's like, what? And then I was like, I've been in the middle a couple times. It's like, it's okay.
He's like, I don't care, just whatever.
Yeah. So it was great in that part. Like I said, just traveling around. I love dropping in different boxes and stuff like that too. It's really fun. That's the one thing I do like appreciate about CrossFit or whatever, because like you guys are affiliated, which is fine. Like you don't have to be, but it makes it easy when you're traveling to find a spot where it's like going to be like-minded people.
Right.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. And
sure.
I dropped in Germany. I went for my cousin's wedding last February, and then we had in Frankfurt, one of our other cousins lives, so we stopped there for a couple of days and just hung out with them, and I found a box there and dropped in, and they're going over it, and I'm like, just go over it in German, whatever, like I'll figure it out. Like it's written in English on the board, so whatever. And it's just funny, it's like that language or that it carries over no matter what language you go to. People are like going, the coach is explaining, and all of a sudden you hear everybody go, oh, like, and you're like, oh yeah, and they're like looking at me. I'm like, no, I know what that is. Oh no, dude. Oh my god. We did one of the days I dropped in. It was 5 rounds for time. It was 15 cows on the assault bike, 10 burpees. It's like, go. I was like, no,
thank you.
I was on vacation. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, damn, dude.
This is how you treat guests, visitors to your country. Thank you.
I was like, non-German citizens are exempt for this, right? This is only.
You guys got some bench press back there? No?
I know. The funny thing is, like, because I do spend a good amount of time in Europe or whatever, like, I can do kilos to a certain degree, and plus they're on the plates here anyways. What?
Nothing. No, go ahead.
They are. So no.
I understand that, AJ.
Okay, sorry. So anyways, you drop into a gym over there, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm American or whatever, and they're like, just assume they're like, oh okay, like these are kilos, like this. Yeah, I can count. Like,
well, you have okay, so
but they just make you feel dumb. They're like, oh, you won't know what's going on.
Obviously okay, so you understand kilos to a point, right? Like you can semi figure this stuff out. You've obviously never been to an Olympic lifting or a powerlifting competition with people that are there for the first time who have never worked with kilos.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you will watch people warm up and they're like, why can't I lift this? And they like start freaking out. It's like, what's your max? 200 pounds? You got 230 on the bar, because they can't convert. Oh, okay. Well, it's like,
what's on your phone?
It's in fucking kilos, man. Like
there's an app.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, so I understand where they were coming from because most people like just dork out and can't.
And I don't know if maybe it's because I look like Will Ferrell or Vince Vaughn. They were like,
exactly
oh, are you sure about that overhead press there? And I was like, yeah, I got
See, AJ, they're like, oh, this guy's an idiot. There's no way.
This guy owns his own affiliate. He's lying.
Right.
I don't think he...
No. So give me like a typical training day now. What are you doing now?
Right now, recently I started...
Did you work out today?
Not yet.
Why not?
Because I came here.
Bro, it's almost noon. How have you not worked out?
It's Sunday, though.
Like how he's laughing as he's like, but
I had a cup of coffee and then I came here. What?
God, you're so soft. So what are you going to do
We usually
today?
work out later. I usually work out. Well, on Sundays we'll try to work out earlier, but now it's getting so dark that
it's not happening today, basically. Since daylight savings hit, how many Sundays have you worked out?
I brought my pretty much every Sunday. Actually, Sundays are kind of a rest.
See?
Sundays, the programming usually doesn't have anything on Sundays.
Active recovery.
The program doesn't have anything on Sundays, but I usually do like a longer run or like a bike or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I ran this morning, right?
You invited me here, not to your house to run here. I don't know.
Where were you? So what are you going to do today? Okay, so let's back up. What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, well,
it was a recovery day.
Active recovery.
Actually, I had to. It was yesterday. Was Antonio's birthday, so I had to bump.
This dude.
I had to bump everything back.
He wanted to. He did. He wanted to.
I had to bump everything back. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did the run.
So not today. Also,
I did my run. I did my run and bike yesterday, and then today I'm supposed to do some lifting. So I'm supposed to.
What kind of lifting? What are you doing?
It's snatching and clean and jerk, and I think. It's front squat or back squat. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, and then it's supposed to be a partner AMRAP, but I don't know if I'm going to talk somebody into that. But it's like got bench press in it, so I'm really excited to do. We can do it. I brought my other shoes because I know how it goes when we're here.
Listen, if it's just the bench press, I'll take care of that part. You just do the rest.
Just go ahead. You could just. I'll just skip that. Apparently,
you've seen your triceps, right?
What's that?
You've been skipping bench press for years. Look at
I have not.
Yeah.
You notice
the mess up part is I've been throwing in a lot of dips lately too, and they just don't grow.
You notice his sleeves have a lot of room, like a lot of room.
This is large. It's
in like the Husky Boy section, maybe, bro. Come on. Anyways, how we doing on time, Mikey? I see you checking.
A couple minutes.
Okay.
I shop on Vince Vaughn's website.
All right, let's wrap it up a little bit. Let's wrap it up. We're gonna close this sucker out because AJ and I can sit here and just bullshit all day long. We'll have to plan another episode where we talk a little bit more in depth. But so yeah, this is AJ. If you guys want to check out, where can people find you? If people want to find out more about AJ, just who you're doing, what you're doing, they want to stalk you.
I have an Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the Zumba?
Can people still sign up for the Zoo? Become members, or is it kind of?
I'm not really taking them.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
What about the Zumba? Like, where can we watch you do Zumba?
OnlyFans.
Okay. OnlyFans. Got it. Cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming today, dude.
No,
it was cool. It was fun.
I feel like I should be featured in more of these. Maybe not featured, but I can just
have like little cameos, pop up. Yeah.
Just like,
or when Rachel gets out of control, I just take her headphones off her head and like you sub in. Let's calling in the lefty. Bro.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, she's bad today. Just rotate it.
So
out.
we'll have you sit next to Mike, like in the bullpen.
Yeah, I'll bring a big old jacket too.
Like pretend like you're warming up.
Waiting for my shot.
Do you need like a bullpen car to pull you up next to the table and drop you off?
Ideally.
Okay.
Call me and I'll go to the wall.
If not, maybe just like a little puppet, just like, hello.
We will find a bigger role for AJ on upcoming podcasts. And yeah, man, thanks for coming today, dude. It was fun. It was a good time. Mikey, you got anything you want to add?
Is anything you want to know? I mean, we worked out for a long time.
How many levels of, like, there's L1, L2. Is there L3, 4, 5?
There's an L3.
There's 27 levels to this. It's like Zelda.
They just keep making them up so you can keep paying. They're like, yeah, you want to be a level.
We're going to learn cupcakes today. We're gonna
It's what's the pyramid schemes where they just give you new titles that don't mean anything?
Everyone ever. Yeah.
I'm an assistant regional manager to the director.
Yeah,
of the
Dwight
state.
Schrute.
Yeah, basically.
Vice president.
Yeah. So
so there's 3 in CrossFit?
4. I
4.
believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
4 is kind of like you're on like radar to be on staff.
Yeah, four is where you can go
where
and
you
go work for them, or
where you can work for them, and they'll train you up at that point. But the L3 apparently is super hard. Like it's an actual 4 hours, like 3-hour test you have to take, and it's a lot more like important stuff.
A lot more
things, questions.
I don't know. I kind of
it's about stuff.
There's more breakdown of anatomy, physiology, and things like that.
I was actually, that was part of my plan, was to take that probably this upcoming year. Because usually it's like I took the L1 and then I think it was like 4 years that I had it. And then I was like, okay, L2, because then it renews. You don't have to keep refreshing your certification if you just stack the next one on top of it. So I think this would have been almost 4 years. So
I got you. Okay. All right, cool.
4 levels. 4 levels.
The Quattro.
The Quattro. Yeah, cool. So hopefully you guys enjoy this episode with AJ. First time around. We'll have to have him back again. We'll have to have him back when we have Rachel here.
Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah, that way we can just really have fun and everybody can make fun of Rachel.
That is my favorite.
Yeah. So if you guys have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, do so. If you guys like this podcast, give it a thumbs up, give it a review. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Check out castironworkouts.com. Check out my book, Whatever It Takes. You read it. Well, Antonia read it to you because I know you can't read.
It doesn't have enough pictures.
Dude, that's the first thing. I've said this a couple times. That's the first thing my brother said.
Yeah.
Scott, right?
Yeah.
He gets it. First thing he says, he goes, bro, where are all the pictures? I'm like, come on, man. So anyways, check all that stuff out. Give us a review, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, SoundCloud. And yeah, hopefully you guys are doing good. If you got any questions, need any help, shoot us a message. We'll see you guys.